In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the throttle body on your Ford 500, located right here on the top side of your engine. Using an 8mm wrench or a socket, go ahead and loosen the nut on the ground terminal. Once that's loose, give it a little wiggle and work that off. Using our flathead screwdriver, we're going to go ahead and loosen the hose clamp right here, holding our air intake tube to the throttle body. Now we're going to loosen it. We're not going to unscrew it all the way. Coming back to this vacuum tube right here, there's a green clip. We're going to push that down and lift. This green clip is just locking that into place there. Spin that off. There's a vacuum tube right here that's simply pressed in. Go ahead and grab that and wiggle that right out and set that aside. Your mass airflow sensor wiring harness on the bottom side, there's a little red clip. Just use your finger and pull that clip upward. And you're going to press a little tab on the other side and we'll pop that off. Here's that little red clip. With that disconnected, I'm going to come on over here to the top side of the air box for the filter. Release our tabs. Wiggle this up. Pull it off of the throttle body. And set that aside. On the side here we have an electrical connector. Very similar to the mass airflow sensor. We have a red connector or a clip. Press that down to unlock it. Press here. And we'll go ahead and disconnect this. We have our vent tube here. Just pop that off, let that hang. Now we have a coolant tube here going to the bottom side of our throttle body. What we're going to do is we're going to put a towel underneath here. Now you can go underneath here and disconnect the hose from the bottom side of the throttle body, but it's really tight in here. I'm going to simply disconnect the hose here. And we're going to remove it with the throttle body, and then afterwards on the bench we'll remove this hose and swap it over to the new throttle body before installation. Using a pair of pliers, let's go ahead and release this hose clamp here. Slide that up. Now you might have a little bit of coolant come out of this area here. You can have a catch can or a bucket underneath the vehicle. We already have one there. When you're pulling this hose off, pull upward. Do not go back and forth because the neck here is plastic and you do not want to snap that off. So twist and pull straight up. Now when you remove this here, I grabbed a plastic cap. You can find something else to fit in here, but I'm going to cap that off so we don't have any coolant from the throttle body leak out and run everywhere. On the top here, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this hose here. Use your pliers, slide that back. I'm just going to twist that, make sure that we get that loose, and just pull that hose off. Now there are 4 8mm bolts holding the throttle body to the intake. There's 2 on the top here, 2 on the bottom. I'm going to use my 1/4-inch ratchet and socket to go ahead and loosen these and remove them. Grab the throttle body and we'll simply remove that. Using a pair of pliers, I'm going to release this hose clamp here. Pop that off and pop it onto the new unit. Move the hose clamp and we're ready to install the new component. On the intake side, we're going to use some solvent and just kind of clean around where the throttle body attaches to. Now there is a rubber O-ring seal that goes right around the perimeter here. You want to inspect that and make sure that that is not torn or damaged or anything like that. If it is, you want to go ahead and replace that at this time. We just want to make sure that the surface where the throttle body is bolting to is clean and clear of any debris. Install your throttle body, line it up, and we're going to go ahead and start getting some of these bolts in by hand. Just get them started, work our way around. I'm going to use my ratchet, and I'm just going to snug these gently. Pretty much just bottom them out. You don't want to put any real torque on those yet. Okay. Torquing the 4 bolts, these need to be either 89 inch-pounds or 7.4 foot-pounds. I'm going to do it in a crisscross pattern. Install the upper hose. Move the clamp back into position. Got to remove our cloth here. Remove our plug. Install this coolant tube. Reposition the clamp down in a position here. Going to install our electrical connector on the side of the throttle body. Press that up and on. You'll feel it snap into place, and then don't forget to press the red lock on. You have your vent tube here. Snap that on in place up top here. Install your upper air box. When installing this unit here, you want to make sure that these 3 tabs lock into the bottom side of our filter box. Put the hose on the throttle body. And we can put our locking clips on and just continue to reverse the installation of all the other components here. Electrical connector, press that on, snap it in, push the lock down, install our vacuum port, just press that in. Install this vacuum hose here, just press that on, snap that into place. Tighten down your hose clamp. Just want to make sure that's snug. Doesn't have to be super tight, but you do want to make sure that it's going to create a good seal here. Once we have this all set, let's go ahead and install our ground terminal on our battery. Install the ground terminal. Use your 8mm socket to go ahead and snug this down. And once that nut bottoms out, just give it a couple more Turns here, you want to make sure it's good and snug, but don't over tighten it. Give that terminal a wiggle. Now at this point here, we've connected our ground terminal on the battery. Now if you lost any coolant from the system, you want to go ahead and add a little bit of coolant to our expansion tank here. Simply open this up, add a certain amount of coolant that you feel that you may have lost. If you didn't lose much at all, it wouldn't be much of an issue. But this is where you would add it to. Go ahead and close that up if you had to add it. And go ahead and take the vehicle for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.